coming in, and they're off. Racing for the Albert Bartlett, and out in front King's Palace amongst those prominent with Urban Hymn as they head on down towards the first flight of hurdles. Also racing handily as The Job Is Right as they approach the first with Masters Hill. Briar Hill is also racing in a handy position as The Job Is Right guesses slightly at the first. Prince Siegfried was the back marker over it in company with Carberry, who is held up. Also Very Wood is held up in the early stages with Champagne West as the leader King's Palace reaches the second. Fluent over it, they're all over. At the back of the field, Carberry was the one that was just a little bit slow, just preceded by Regal Diamond early on. Briar Hill taking quite a keen grip amongst horses as they reach flight number 3. King's Palace, with his usual immaculate jumping out in front, leads, and The Job Is Right in second place. Out wide is Urban Hymn. Masters Hill tracks them with Deputy Dan. Not too far away, Ryden Pines in company with Briar Hill. Out wide are Apache Jack in midfield early on, in company as well with Madness Light. Sausalito Sunrise ahead of Moss Park, who has about 5 or 6 behind. They include Champagne West Captain Cutter as they approach the next flight of hurdles. King's Palace over, and the back trio, Carberry towards the back of the field, Prince Siegfried held up, and also Regal Diamond, and that trio are just a little bit detached of the main body of the field. They turn left-handed then and have a long run before they encounter the 5th with Urban Hymn on the outside of the orange jacket of King's Palace. The Job Is Right races in 3rd, Deputy Dan is in 4th place early on. The grey Masters Hill on the outside of Briar Hill, now for David Casey in the beige and black colours, just tracking the leaders at this point, in company as well with Ryden Pines. Up the inside, Madness Light moves through to midfield of Sausalito Sunrise. Reading Out San Rock is posted wide on the course with Captain Cutter held up early on. Moss Park's also held up early on in company with Very Wood, Champagne West, and still towards the back of the field is Regal Diamond. So they're reaching the 5th, and once again they all pop over. That Regal Diamond rather skied it towards the back of the field. Carberry is out the back in company as well with Prince Siegfried, and they remain the last 2. So turning back towards home, and out in front, King's Palace on the inside of Urban Hymn. They dispute the running. In 3rd, The Job Is Right ahead of quite keen Deputy Dan in the check colours in 4th place. Just behind these in 5th we have Masters Hill with Briar Hill, who's always just tracked the leaders. Ryden Pines comes next with towards the inside Madness Light. Sausalito Sunrise and Champagne West are side by side the stable companions from Captain Cutter. Then Very Wood. Out wide is San Rock as they approach flight number 6. And again, they're over it. The back marker continues to be Prince Siegfried. Moss Park has lost the place slightly, however, and is pushed along going out on that final circuit. So they've got a circuit under their belts. They've been led by Urban Hymn and King's Palace throughout, and they still hold down the front 2 positions. The Job Is Right from Deputy Dan. San Rock circling the field with Apache Jack to move closer. Masters Hill comes next with Ryden Pines. Briar Hill just there on the inside. Just pushed along to hold the spot is Madness Light with Champagne West, then Sausalito Sunrise. Captain Cutter improving now into midfield. Very Wood comes next. Behind these Moss Park. Carberry still held up towards the rear of the field. So the first flight of hurdles moving away from the stands. Briar Hill's gone. Briar Hill is on the deck. Briar Hill has given David Casey a fall there, the first going down the back. Briar Hill out of the race as they approach the next flight. King's Palace drifts over it with Urban Hymn. We lose Ryden Pines, who's gone. Badly impedes Prince Siegfried towards the back of the field as well. Briar Hill is up okay as they now make their next flight of hurdles. King's Palace racing on the inside of Urban Hymn. Deputy Dan comes next. Champagne West has improved after those incidents with Masters Hill. The Job Is Right is being pushed along. Behind these, out wide, are Apache Jack from Sausalito Sunrise. Captain Cutter drifting ever closer into about 7th or 8th. Very Wood is also trying to stay on from the back of the field at this stage. Then behind these, a gap to The Job Is Right, who is weakening. Carberry's trying to improve. Moss Park still with an awful lot to do. At the back of the field, the weakening Regal Diamond made a mistake. So they've reached the highest point of the racecourse, and out in front it's King's Palace who leads. Deputy Dan and Urban Hymn are 2nd and 3rd. Then the Hobbs pair of Champagne West just ahead of Sausalito Sunrise. San Rock round the outside. Captain Cutter, Tony McCoy pushing along. Apache Jack trying to improve. Then Masters Hill. They're still well bunched as they begin this descent down towards the second last. This 9 or 10 are away from the others. So it's King's Palace and Deputy Dan the front 2. They lead from San Rock. Apache Jack is out wider. Champagne West comes next. Urban Hymns on the retreat. Verywood has been creeping into it under a trademark Carberry ride as they take two from home. King's Palace, nimble as always, is over from Deputy Dan in second place. Then Apache Jack, who's in third. All the time Verywood held together. Captain Cutter's backing out of it. Also backing out of it is Sandrock, turning for home. Deputy Dan it is who finds more. King's Palace immediately shaken up, found nothing. Apache Jack moves through into second place, then Verywood and Champagne West, but it's Deputy Dan for Leighton Aspel down towards the final flight of hurdles with Apache Jack and Barry Geraghty hunting down the leader. Verywood and then towards the far side Champagne West. The last flight of hurdles, Deputy Dan holds a 3-length lead. Deputy Dan heads towards the last. Verywood is the challenger now into second place and closing at Deputy Dan. Lost the back end of the last. King's Palace a faller when beaten, but it's Verywood for Paul Carberry and Noel Mead 3 to 4 lengths clear in an attritional Albert Bartlett. At the line it's Verywood who wins. Verywood scores. Deputy Dan may have just held on for second from Apache Jack. Back in fourth place is Champagne West, Masters Hill and Sausalito Sunrise.
First, number 20, Verywood. Photo finish for second place. First, number 20, and a photo finish for second place.